Now let's deal with the sky. Let's play around with the clouds. I just think it's a little too light in value, so I'll be darkening it with level adjustment. Play around with the slider until you get what you want. And I'm also going to add some colors with color balance. You can also use the curves adjustment. If you're particular with colors, curves is a really good tool for that. Just hinting that there's a bounce light hitting. Now these clouds are basically round cylindrical shapes and they're overlapping each other. Just like the landscape itself, you want the value transition from dark to light as it recedes. Now remember that the light is creeping in from the left hand side, so it should catch some light on the left side of the cloud. And because the light is warm, the highlight on the clouds should be warm, so pay attention to the color temperature. We want the dark side to be cool. I am taking my time as I do this. There are really good brushes online for doing clouds. It will obviously help if you do have them. But here I'm just showing you the manual way. Just wanted to add some light hitting those clouds. In this section I am using a brush that has a soft edge with a little bit of texture to it. Now you can paint hard edges with the soft brush by just decreasing the brush size, so I'm adjusting the size with the shortcut keys. It's probably a common topic, but let's talk about improvements and feedbacks. And I want to mention the importance of looking for quality feedbacks rather than just some inconsiderate comments. Now there are different ways to getting feedbacks. One is, if you're getting feedbacks from the people around you or from the internet, it doesn't mean you have to listen to every one of them, so please be careful. I mean, be polite and positive about it, but remember to always evaluate the quality of the feedback before you decide to make the change. Just follow your heart. It may not necessarily be something you wanted to hear, but quality of feedback really affects the quality of your work. And whether it's on the internet or in person, it's helpful to find people you respect who are willing to spend some time with you. And it can also be fun too, because they probably share the same passion. Another option is just learning from feedbacks that other people are getting, whether it's in the class or from online forums. You can look for images online and scroll down to see what people are saying about the image. You can actually learn heaps from it. Another cool thing about this is sometimes people attach a link to a really good site with quality information. So when you have time, it doesn't hurt to flick through comments. One last option is self-critiquing. Now this is a hard one because it takes a lot of discipline and most of us can be forgiving to ourselves, so it can take time. But you can gather information from different resources and cross-reference with your image. It's basically like going through heaps of checklists. Eventually, this is something you will have to learn to do because at work, and especially if you are in a more senior role or freelancing, you are expected to be able to work individually with minimal direction. So this is an important one. I mean, if you know other options that you're comfortable with, keep doing that and let me know because I would really like to know. Something I heard from an artist, Glenn Vipu, he said, every drawing is a study. I really like this because there is no end to improving. There's always something new to learn. It's actually fun. But remember, it is really important to challenge yourself and push yourself to do different things. By the way, if you're looking for good information, You can obviously get online, but books are actually really good. There are still information in books that you can't find online. And before I forget, I should mention Ted Koski's book on painting trees and landscapes in watercolor. It's a really good book, and he shows different value arrangement options to paint a landscape. He plays with different value combinations on the landscape while maintaining a clear read on the character in the scene. For example, light against dark, mid against light, mid against dark, and so on to create a totally different mood. Very cool, worth checking out. This painting is slowly coming together, but I am by no means trying to achieve a highly detailed piece, but just enough indication to sell the idea. If you want to add more details manually to your paintings, it's basically how much you know about the subject, or just grabbing a photo reference. It's more about patience rather than skills. As long as you can maintain the major values intact, you can add as much as you like. The one thing I do at the end of each painting is some color adjustments. There are areas in this that's bothering me, but I know I can fix later, so I am leaving it till the end. I mean, it is Photoshop at the end of the day, and the software is good at final touches, so I'm not worried at this point. Now, I did add that flare of light just to indicate that there's a strong light coming in from outside the canvas. It's coming to an end, let's move on to the next.